Welcome to the FaceTime segment. Today I'm bringing you live on an exclusive interview of a crisis that shook the whole world, of a missing air flight MES MH370. Joining here with me is Krishnamuthaly, who is an expert in crisis communication and a veteran journalist. He's also the CEO of Krishna and Associates, and he will be bringing us the true analysis and information on what happened, why it happened, and what are the lessons that we have learned through this crisis. Thank you, Krishna, for joining us here.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
So you have been in the press conference for the last 25 days. Now, how would you describe the handling of each day of the authorities? How would you describe that?
It came out quite clear that these people were not really trained in crisis communications and crisis management. And many people think that talking to the media is an easy thing. And we saw it. We saw some officials dancing, swaying from left to right. We saw very depressive faces. Yes, it is the death of 239 people is a depressive situation, but you don't have to show a very depressive face. These people, some of these people were obviously not trained. But for Minister, the acting Minister, Dato Sri Hishamuddin, he did quite well. He did quite well. Right. He answered the questions and he reiterated the key messages.
So how would you describe it? Do you think it was good, the way they handled it? Was it at the greatest?
You have to mark each person individually. Hishamuddin, good. Sometimes excellent. The other officials, not so good, below average. And it's all because they were not trained. If they were trained, I understand some of them were trained by Westerners, foreigners. And if they were trained by these foreigners, that means foreigners accepted average performance. And it showed clearly. It showed clearly.
Is it true that they were hiding something from the public, because these were the conspiracies and the criticisms that the public was showing, that they are hiding something from them? Is that true?
It came out that way because they may not really be hiding anything, because I mean, here's a plane that's gone into the vast expanse ocean and nobody can find it. And it's very difficult to find. What you're finding is satellite rubbish every other day. Yes, we found it. Satellite rubbish. What is it? Satellite rubbish. Now, these people have given impressions like they were hiding the truth. And that is because they were not trained in crisis management and crisis communications. And if they were trained like Hishamuddin, they would have performed well.
How would you have done it?
Feel the questions they're going to ask, then have a mock drill with them, then they go for the press conference. They would have come out super. And I would have insisted that they had a mock drill. And hello, this is nothing new. Obama, the president of US, United States, has a mock drill before he appears before the public. So what's wrong with a mock drill? And sometimes even the CEOs or heads of departments, authorities, think they know it all. And this is the biggest and the greatest mistake they are making. When they think they know it all, and here before the public, they perform badly. They perform badly.
Is it why that media briefings were cancelled 2 times already? Are they trying to avoid something? Are they trying to avoid the media?
Sometimes investigations hold them back.
So what was the problem here? Why was it delayed?
Maybe we were a little conservative. We were conservative. And like the Australians, they were very forthcoming.
Was it because the crisis happened in Malaysia, that's why it was difficult for us compared to the Australians?
No, not really. I think the Australians, it's their first language, and they're so used to it. They didn't, and they were probably trained not to hide anything.
So the most important thing here is that the officials were not trained adequately.
Exactly, that's the word. We're not trained adequately because it came out very clearly.
What's going to happen next, in your opinion?
There's going to be more and more speculation.
Is
Until and
media-
unless...
Is media to be blamed for this speculation?
Not really. Media has to fill the pages, fill the airtime. The reason is media has to entertain its audience, educate and inform the audience. So they will be looking for various sources, various intelligence officials, various families, various authorities, and they will be quoting sources, and will be getting more and more speculation if the black box is not
This
found.
Sunday, 29 members of the Chinese members that have come down right now, last Sunday, they have come down and they want evidence that the plane has actually crashed. Now, what are they going to do, and how are they handling this crisis?
Well, today, or yesterday, there was a the China Daily was a little critical of the way the Chinese were behaving, their own nationals. They said, be fair to the Malaysian government. You know, any government could have been caught in this crisis. And the Malaysian government is doing all its best with 25 other countries in the search and rescue operations.
Yes.
Today, I just heard on the news, the Chinese government telling the Chinese people, please bear with them.
What will be the situation for Mars?
Mars will be really in a difficult position. They'll be in a difficult position. They are already in a difficult position. They didn't identify anybody from the Beijing community who could speak Mandarin very well, who had counseling, psychology, psychiatric abilities from day one to talk to the people. No, we used our people. We tried to impose our culture onto them.
Yeah, so they shouldn't have employed all these Westerners, to go. Rather than they should have employed
Exactly.
a Chinese
From
local.
the local
from the China-
community,
yeah.
an acceptable figure. Solicit some of the family members who are good in psychiatry or psychology, identify them, hey, come, join with us and talk to them.
Being an expert on crisis
Not an
management,
expert,
of course,
train
you're an
people.
expert for the last 25 years. You've
Training people, yeah.
training people for workshops and being really niche in this market, and also a veteran journalist. Now, have you ever seen anything like this on this scale?
No, this is the first time. First time. Today, what we are having is, live. The world is watching us. Immediately, people put it out on Twitter, Facebook, online, all the social media. We didn't have those things those days. So information is being disseminated at a rapid pace. You don't have 4 hours, or you have to solve those problems in 4 minutes.
What are the painful lessons that Malaysians have learned through this crisis?
I think that there are many lessons we can learn from this crisis. Obviously, we need proper engagement with the media. Media engagement skills can weather any stormy crisis.
Right.
And once it's mishandled communication triggers rumors and speculation. Misinformation will aggravate the crisis. Well-managed communication, telling the truth, will lessen the tension. And if a crisis is poorly managed, wrong perceptions are created. Real-time reporting through Twitter, Facebook, online raises challenges. Correctly positioned and leverage messages can turn the tide in a crisis. To improve, we must know what was our weakness and strength and work on it. Malaysia was on the world map with foreign media clamoring for answers. As a trainer in crisis management, this is a learning experience even for me. Even for me, because I've not experienced anything like this before. No one is old enough to learn new techniques in managing a crisis. And this is the problem with some of the people who went and faced the media were not properly trained, did not have proper mock drills practice drills before they went out.
We definitely know that it was a lack of training coming in front of the media and not knowing what to say.